After the installation, these are still some of the things that we still need to do in order to improve the performance as well as maybe customize our operating system. Now, these things, by the way, are applicable not just in this particular Linux distribution, but also in other Linux distribution. But I'll be using Ubuntu Budgie 22.04 as my test OS. So the very first thing that we need to do is to update our repositories. So we can do this in two ways. So we can either click the start menu, then use or search for updates, okay, software updater, or we can also use the terminal. So in this case, I'll be using the terminal. So I'm going to right click on my desktop, then open in terminal. Okay, so I can issue the command sudo apt update. Okay, since I use sudo, I will be asked for the password. Okay, then let's try to download all of the security updates. Okay, then it's time to upgrade. So again, I'll be issuing the command sudo apt upgrade. So it's currently being installed. So we have around here 346 MB of archives. After this operation, 918 KB of additional disk space will be used. So let's just like to click yes. So it's currently being installed, or the update is currently being installed into this operating system. So it won't take a while. It's just going to take less than 5 minutes maybe to install all of the updates. So the second option that we can do is install media codecs to play various kinds of media files, or install Ubuntu-restricted-extras and packages. So I'll be also showing you guys what is the command to do this particular post-installation process. So let's just try to wait for it to finish, or let's just try to wait for our first step, which is updating the repositories to finish. So currently we're at 13%. Everything, by the way, is being updated. So in my case, I would normally update on a daily basis. So let's say, for example, I'm going to open it today, or I'm going to open my computer today. So I'll be updating it. Okay. Then if I'm going to open it again tomorrow, I'm also going to update my operating system, just to be sure that everything is constantly being updated. So I'll just be issuing again, or I'll be using the command prompt, because I'm much more comfortable in updating it via, or updating my operating system via the command prompt or via the terminal. Now again, as what I've said, if you're not comfortable, you can actually use the start menu, or you will also be prompted if there's any major updates for that particular, or for your particular Linux distribution. So you will have a notification here somewhere on top if any major updates is needed for your operating system. So currently we're at setting up Linux firmware. Okay, so we're at 55%. Now, if notice, by the way, this icon. So we have here an exclamation. So if I were to double click, I will have here show updates, and you can also select show notifications. Okay, an error occurred. Please run package manager from the right click menu. Okay, so you can right click here, package manager. Okay, or it's just better. Let's try to select it here. Okay. Package. Okay, we don't need that one. So we can just select here show updates, and we just have to make sure that this one is always clicked. So we have here this is actually what happens a while ago when I tried to update the system, because basically what happened is that I tried to update it via the terminal, and at the same time also update it via the software updater. So I got that particular message. So in this case, or in this particular case this time, what I basically did was just try to update it via the terminal. This is, we can actually just ignore this one. Again, you have here show notifications. Okay. Once we have here show notifications, we'll have this we'll have this asterisk or exclamation point. I mean, sorry, not asterisk, but exclamation point to show that there's a certain message that can be seen on our operating system. Okay, we can also click here, then select preferences. This is not yet, by the way, part of the updating process. Okay, so we're currently at 94%. Generating boot. Okay, we're currently generating boot. Okay, so wherever this is software updates, canonical, community maintained. Okay, so it's up to you if you wanted to select. We have also, you can select or you can download from different sets of servers here. So in my case, since I'm in the Philippines, I would have this one as my default server. Okay, so I'm going to close this one now. Okay, so we're still updating. So as what I've said, it's just around less than 5 minutes to update. I'll also be showing you guys how do we know or how do we identify if the system has been updated. Okay. So we're currently generating boot still, inet trd.image. Okay. So processing, we're almost already done. Okay, so we already have here the prompt. So it means that we're already done. So let's try to check again. Sudo apt update. Okay, still reading package list. Depends. All packages are up to date. So once I issue this command, sudo apt update, we'll have this one. If everything is updated, so all packages are up to date. So there's no need for us to update it anymore. Okay, maybe tomorrow or maybe the day after we can update it again. But as of now, all packages are up to date. Now, as what I've said, the second option that we can do is install media codecs to play various kinds of media, or install Ubuntu-restricted-extras packages. So how do we do that? So we can issue the command sudo apt install Ubuntu restricted -extras. Then press enter. Okay, so we have this one. After this operation, 3,773 KB of additional disk space will be used. We can just click yes. Okay, so everything will be downloaded again. It's a lot faster this time. Okay, so we'll be asked configuring TTF. So when you talk about TTF, it means that we have a teletype fonts, MS Core Fonts -installer. So we will be installing different core fonts. So let's try to click OK. Do you accept the EULA terms? Yes. Okay. Progress 98%. Okay, so no errors found, all fonts downloaded and installed. So basically what we did was just try to install different fonts. Okay, so we have, this is where we actually extracted our fonts. So we have here var lib update -notifier package partial, and this is not actually where we updated. So we can find fonts by clicking start menu, then try to select fonts. So we have here fonts. Okay, but I won't be clicking this one. So you can actually find all of your fonts here, or all of your installed fonts here. The third method that we can use is if, let's say, for example, we wanted to install additional applications, then we can do so by installing it via web. which or via the software center. Okay, so let's try maybe to use the software center this time. I'm going to click start. Okay, software. Okay, okay, this one. Budgie welcome. Um, applications. So we have your desktop. Try to look for it. Software. Okay, so we have your software. Again, this you can also install the software of your choice using the terminal. So again, if you're like me who's always fond of using the terminal, then you can do so by using the terminal. Otherwise, you can use the software center. Okay, so this is your software center. You can actually click browse software. Okay, so let's say for example you wanted to maybe let's try to install let's try to click work, editor's choice. Okay, try to look for it here. Okay, so we also have here red alert. Okay, so codecs, fonts, hardware drivers. This is actually just one way. So if you wanted to install also via the terminal, let's say I'll be using Terminator. I can issue the command sudo app install Terminator. Okay, just to install an application, or yeah, you can do so by issuing the command here. So again, as what I've said, there's two ways for us to use or to install an application. Like we can actually use the software center. Now, if you're still not that familiar with Ubuntu, then what you can do is you can just try to search it here. Then software center. This is actually where we can what we can use to install the software, or we can also use the terminal. Okay. Again, you can just try to search for it via the internet on how to install, let's say for example Chromium or XAMPP and so on. Okay, you can do so by doing that. So another thing that we need to do also is we need, if especially if you're running on a laptop, is install uh, and configure the power management. Okay, so let's try to install this time TLP. Okay, so sudo app install TLP. Okay, yes. Okay, so we're still currently installing. I'm also trying to install another one. I'll be installing another application. Let's try to install bpytop or bashtop. Try to install bashtop tl. Okay, so let's try to use tlp to run the command. Okay, so you here. Okay, or maybe we can use the terminal tlp. Okay, so you have here execute tlp. TLP, by the way, is an application that will let us manage the power. There's the power or the battery usage of our machine, especially if we're using a laptop. So let's also try to install another one if you wanted to configure the power management. What we can do is we can also install sudo. Okay, sudo app. Maybe sudo app install. Okay, bashtop. We can install it properly. Okay, so we have here bashtop, by the way, is also a power management tool or power monitoring tool. Okay, Okay, so I have to wait first. Okay, so this is bash top. This is actually bash top. Okay, so this is a way for us to monitor our power usage. So again, I would use this one to monitor the power usage, especially if I'm in my laptop. Okay, so just to terminate, just press Control C. Okay, so to clear the screen. Okay, so now that we have installed or enabled our power management tools, we can also try to clean up our system. Now, in order for us to clean up the system, why do we need to clean up our system, by the way? This is actually to remove all of the um, uh, application that has been removed from our system. Okay, so we can actually issue the command sudo app auto remove. Okay, so there's only around 340 KB the space that will be freed. I have to click yes. Okay. Okay, so that's it. So another thing also that we can do is maybe try to try to customize our operating system, or try to customize the looks based on our preference. Okay, so what we can do is we can also customize the background. Okay, so I have to click here, change desktop. Okay, let's try to open this time, change desktop settings. Okay, customizing the background. So we can actually use this one to change the appearance of our operating system or of our Ubuntu Budgie. So we can also add certain applications by clicking here auto start. Let's try to look for do not disturb mode. Okay, do not, or what we can do, okay, right click here, desktop settings again, desktop. Okay, so you have your desktop icons, active mounts if you wanted to see the different flash drives or USB drives that have been installed to our system. Also our home directory. Okay, as you can see there. Fonts. Now these are all of the fonts that have been installed a while ago. We also have here Raven. Okay. Power strip. Okay. We can also disable certain areas such as show calendar widget, show sound output, okay, and so on. So we can let's try to also select Windows. So okay, we have here this is actually, I would normally do this. This is actually my step number 6. So we have here disable night light mode when windows are in full screen. So or this is this is actually number 7. So so I can disable or enable my nighttime mode. So this is, I would normally do this especially if I don't want to have that much strain into my eyes. Okay, you also have your automatic tiling, automatic window, show all windows in tab switcher. Okay, and so on. So pause notification when using Windows, but let's have to, you have this one. It's try to enable this one, or disable, or enable or disable light mode when Windows is in full screen. Okay, so we have already disabled the night light. We also customize our background. Okay, maybe we can do so by right clicking here, okay, desktop, change here desktop background if you wanted to change the desktop background. This is actually just more on customizing. Okay, so we have here background. Let's say I'm going to select this one. Okay. Okay. So that's I actually just right clicked here. Then I have here change desktop background. The next thing that I would do is, of course, we have here notifications. I can either enable or disable my notifications. So these are all the different applications that I have here. So I can actually enable or disable it via my notifications option. Okay. Try to look for screenshot. Okay. Now, try to use, we can also use the screenshot tool. Okay, so we have screen window selection. Or let's say, for example, I'm going to select selection. I can just highlight. Or maybe let's say to select screen. Show pointer. Okay. Here to do selection. Take screenshot. Okay. So this is it. I highlighted certain areas of my screen, then that's it. So I can actually use a screenshot by clicking the start, then select looking for screenshot. I try to search for screenshot. That's the another tool that we can use, by the way, especially if you're doing like demonstration work such as what I'm currently doing. Then the last thing that I wanted to do, if I wanted to customize even more my operating system, is install GNOME tweaks. So I can do that by issuing the command sudo apt install -y gnome-tweaks. Again, it will be installed. Setting up GNOME tweaks. Okay, let's try to search for it on our search bar. GNOME. Okay, we have here tweaks. GNOME tweaks, by the way. Okay, so these have here tweaks. Again, select the appearance. Okay, shell, fonts, keyboard and mouse, startup application, top bar, okay, window title bars, windows, and so on. If you wanted to customize even more your operating system or the appearance of your operating system, you can use actually GNOME tweaks. Okay, so these are just some of the things that I would normally do. Or these are some of the very basic things that I would normally do after installing my operating system. Now, as what I've said, this is not just limited to Ubuntu Budgie. I can also use these steps if I wanted to install or wanted to update or install other applications in my other Linux distribution. But I've been using Ubuntu Budgie for quite a while. I also went back to Ubuntu Budgie just a month ago when the new Jammy Jellyfish version came out. So I actually performed the steps. Then of course, if there's a need for you to even customize it even more, you can also do so. These are just basic excuse me, these are just actually basic configurations and updates that can be done if you just wanted to customize it based on your own preference, or customize it in a very simply simply customize it. Okay, so you can actually perform the steps. So by the way, I'm also going to add the steps at the bottom or at the description of the page, so you can also do so by following the steps. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so by clicking the bell notification button as well as the subscribe button. So for those of you guys who have already subscribed, thank you very much. And please do so that I will continue posting videos about technology and other related stuff. So thanks guys for listening.